welcome to Drone View Advantage. Today I am building a Pavo20 Pro. I just got this in the mail, and it is a Pavo20 Pro bind and fly, which means BetaFPV does not provide the video, the VTX. And I don't have a DJI O4 Pro. I was going to put a DJI O4 Lite with a wide kit on it, but I don't have the plate. I do have a DJI O3 with a 3D printed that fits the Pavo20, so that's what I'm going to be putting on tonight. Let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, and it doesn't have the ELRS on the board itself. It has the SBUS, and I'll just turn it off and switch it back over to ELRS. But I have a RadioMaster RP3, and that's just a dual antenna, but it's really lightweight, so that will work just fine. How do I get into this? It doesn't have the thumb holes like the other ones do. Alright. Yeah, here's the case for the DJI O4 Pro, which I'm going to hang on to that because I'll probably use that later on. Here's the drone itself. As you can see, it has the flight controller. It has, what motors does it have? It has the 1104 7200 lava motors. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yep. And it doesn't have the USB. It has that stupid connector with the USB to connect to it. Should have just made this a USB. Why they keep doing that? That's not. Oh well. So let's see, what I'm gonna need are my tools for this to open this up. It came with that LED strip to go around the outside. That's cool. And then it came with extra props. Not much. So I reach over here and grab my tool bag, and we can start taking this apart. Alright, got my tool bag. Some electrical tape, a screwdriver set, and a wrench set. And for this, I'll need a 1.5. There you go, 1.5 hex head. Take this battery strap off. And it looks like it's got an ELRS. Look at that. It's got an ELRS antenna. So it's probably on SBUS, but it has the built-in. I'll have to pull it again into Betaflight to truly know. Go ahead and start taking this apart. I'm right-handed, so everything's going to go over here on the right. It just makes more sense for me to do it that way. got the prop guard off, and that means that these bolts, just pull it right off of here. On the bottom of this is the ESCs, because it's an all-in-one. Now I want the other side, or do I? No, this is, the top is the ESCs because that's where all the motors connect into. You can see that. And then this side has all my LED pads and all my UARTs. Look at that. They took the time to cover the capacitor leads with heat shrink. Just essence on the quality that they strive for. It was really nice. What I'm doing now is I found that they have a little screw, or a nut between the flight controller and the carbon. It's a little plastic nut to keep it separated. Huh. Interesting. Play with that in a minute. Let me see what's going on with this. So right here, they have the T6 and R6, 5 volt and ground. They have the LED wired to the T6 on this one. On my other one, the LED was wired to the T1. So I'm wondering if this is going to have the UARTs available. Let's find out. Get in here. Plug in. And there's USB. It only goes in here one way. You can't, like, look at this. There's pins in here. They're either at the top or bottom, and there's holes here, and they're either at the top or bottom. You just want to line up the pins and just push them together. Too easy. But if you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be doing the ELRS modification. I have my light off to this side, so if you see me tilting it off to the side, it's because my light's over here. There, so that's in. Good deal. And this can get tightened back up. Because that still floats. It's just tightening the nut screw against the main body. Half of me thinks I'm going to cut all of this out. And half of me thinks nobody's going to watch it, so I might as well leave it in there, right? So some tweezers. Put this bolt back on. Put this the nut back on. Now this should not affect attaching the fan shroud, the prop shroud later on, as these just spin once they get tight. It's just holding it as a spacer so it can lay level onto the carbon without making a contact point, which is nice. Alright, let me get my laptop. Hold on. And the USB. Alright, I might cut that out. You guys didn't need to know that I was over there crawling around trying to find my laptop. Alright, so I'm just making room for the laptop to go up here. Without moving the camera, I won't be able to show you the Betaflight information that I get off of this. Hook it up to the wall. So I can have wall power, and I'm not just running off the battery off the laptop. Because this laptop seems to run slow anyways. And then it's even slower when it's just battery. It's logging in. It's doing its thing. Let me check. If you guys are still watching, thank you. We're 13 minutes into this. How's a... Alright. So, see how the bolt comes through the body? And then there's a nut that separates it, and that's a plastic nut. And it just sits there on the rubber. Now what I was saying is right here, this yellow one. Try to focus it. See how it's T6, R6? So those are going to be my UARTs that I want. I'd like to see if the UART1 shows up over here for the R1, T1. So I'm either going to put the receiver on UART1 or I'm going to put the UART on UART6, or the receiver on UART6. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, I can zoom out a little bit. Well, that'd be nice. Betaflight's opening up. No, we should just take a moment to do that. While we wait, how are you? How's your day? You doing okay? Alright, there we are. Look at that, first lights. There we are. Alright, let's go to ports. And we have a UART1. And we have a UART6. Good. UART6 is currently not assigned to anything. Awesome. So we are going to use UART 1 on this. Why did that take so long? Why did that take me 2 minutes to figure all that out? Because my other Pavo didn't have a UART 6 or a UART 1. It only had a UART 6 in Betaflight. So that means I got the upgraded board with this one. I've got some shrink wrap for looks cool. Try to get this receiver out of here. All right. Let's see if we can get it to focus with light. There you go. You see the R, so that's received. The T is transmit, a 5 volt, and then a negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the receive and we're going to put it on the transmit on the flight controller. And we're going to take the transmit off of the receiver and put it on the receive on the flight controller. I'm just going to cross those two. And everything else should stay the same. So I'm just going to tin these pads real quick. We're going to use UART 1. Warming up the soldering iron now. And I don't have my soldering clay. I usually have like a big clay thing. What can I use instead? How's this? I don't have my soldering clay. What I'm going to do is turn some tape inside out, fold it on itself, and that is going to be my soldering clay. And nobody going to watch this anyways. Alright, let me tin these pads real quick. See if I got enough. Yeah, there we go. Warm it up, color it in. Warm it up, color it in. Yes, I had to learn how to solder when I was young, and that was the whole mythology to it. Now that the pads are tinned, we can go ahead and put some wires on there. The wires are pre-tinned. I like to use tweezers whenever I solder. It just gives me options to hold it which way I want it. Move it up, stick it in. Cool, blowing on it. Hope my big head's not in the way of you guys watching. Grab it, press it down on top, warm it up, stick it in. cool it off. Alright, now, I wonder, because this does not say. I like to be color specific, the color code on this. RadioMaster RP3 images. That shows blue and yellow. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow. I have green and white. I don't think it matters, but I would like to keep it somewhat uniform. Across the industry, you know. Alright, here's one, and it's on a GPS module. The green is transmit. So we're going to use green as transmit. Does it matter what color the wire is? No. They could all be the same color. As long as they're crossed at the end and go into the right spot. Then it won't matter. Warm it up. Warm it up. Stick it in. Cool it down. That doesn't warm it up. Stick it in. Cool down. This one, I just want a little bit more on there. Wasn't quite thick enough to bury the wire. Okay. Looks good. Now, with these, what I like to do is these UFL connectors usually pop off in a crash. What I like to do is just take them, we're going to untangle these, and bend them around this way. And that way when I do the heat shrink, if it pulls on the antenna, it's pulling on the heat shrink and not the UFL connector. Now, I'm going to show you something that I learned that isn't really talked about much. This heat shrink. I don't want to hold a flame to it. I'm just going to use my soldering iron. It's nice and hot. I'm just going to rub the soldering iron a little bit on it. And it's going to shrink it down. It's not going to stick to the iron. This thing's 500 Celsius. And it just gets a nice controlled shrink on it. Look at that. I didn't burn it, I didn't singe it. There's nothing on the soldering iron. You guys should try it. Just use the soldering iron instead of using a lighter or something, because it shrinks it. It does it quick. You don't have to worry about burning everything. Alright, now to attach this to the flight controller. And we're going to tin these pads. Can I zoom in so you guys can actually see what I'm doing down there? There, you guys can see it now. Alright. Do this power first. Warm it up. I'm doing the ground. Oops, didn't come off the iron. It stayed on the tip of the iron. I don't want it there. I want it on the pad. I'll warm up the pad, hang out. There we go. That one had a little. Warm up the pad. And just stick it down. That is a small pad, guys. Look at that. That is a tiny pad to be sticking to. Alright, now with these, I don't like to go in facing the outside of the board. I like to come from the top and fold them over if need be. I usually start with ground. Here it's 5 volt and then ground, so I'll start with the 5 volt. A little tug. It's good. Go to the ground. It's good. All right. Double check the wire. Transmit is green, so I'll transmit on receive. So the next color is going to be white. Transmit. And when I'm done, I'll hold them next to each other and show you. It just has to be crossed. Alright, that didn't take too much time. It took longer to take it apart. Alright, let's show you here. If you look, I'll get the pointer out. The receive is green, and on the transmitter, its transmit is green. So green and white are just crossed. That's all. That's all you have to do. And you saw we're on I bend this over. There. Where you at? I just bend it this way instead of having it run across the processor. But you see how it says T1 and R1? That means when we go into Betaflight, it's just going to be the UART 1. Let's plug that in. The Betaflight. Betaflight. Go on the ports. Looks like my UART 6 or UART 4 is for my video transmit on screen display. And it has a serial right now on UART 5. So I'm going to take that off and put it on UART 1 and save and reboot. Too easy. Alright. Take this soldering iron off so I don't burn myself. And usually this takes about 60 seconds. If I zoom out, I did not zoom back out. You guys can't see what the heck I'm doing here. Yeah, there you go. See how they're both rapid flashing now? You can't really tell which one is it's trying to connect to. So I'm going to go into my Wi-Fi. And connect to the ELRS. And lucky for me, it says that I'm connected to the RP3. Firmware 3.3.1, and that's the same that I use on my controller. Cool. So I'm just going to type in my binding phrase. This is why I'm doing it off camera, so you don't see my binding phrase. Save, reboot. Turn that off. Get my controller out. Alright. Controller's on. I got a binding phrase already set on this one. I'm going to power back up the receiver, and theoretically it should connect straight to the external, and the onboard should never connect.
Telemetry connected.
I'm connected and the onboard's flashing. Good. Receiver, tab. Oh, I need to change it from SBUS to ELRS. This part should just take me a moment to find it. Configuration. It's in receiver. Yeah, it's in receiver. So serial UART, yes. Change this down to crossfire. Save and reboot. Go back over to my receiver. Yep, I don't know why. Everything's there. Good. Now I can set up my modes. Arm. Oh, that's wrong. Very good. Set up my angle mode and my horizon. Put them to auto. Does this thing have a beeper? Oh, I think it's got a beeper. A flip over after crash. User 1. User 1 should be that LED. Save. Good. Yeah, it doesn't have a beeper. I can remove that. Save. There we go. Go over to PIDs. I'm in my PID tuning. I'm just changing my angle mode strength to 50 and angle limit 50 instead of 60. And I'm going to go back up to profiles. I want 25% throttle expo, and I want about 75% throttle limit on it. I never use full throttle on the other one. Save. Excellent. Okay. We are set up on Betaflight.
Telemetry lost.
Now I'll put the cage back on. I'm going to put it on the bottom or the top. I'm going to put it on the bottom here. Because when I put it on like this, I want my receiver just across the battery right there so I can see it. That's why I have the capacitor all stretched out. I like to put the little quality control sticker in the back. That's where I believe it came from. The capacitor is right in the way. I'm going to put it on the board and tuck it down. There we go. Looks a lot better. Give these a couple turns, get it in place, and then I can go ahead and check it out further. This wire is to my video transmitter. It just plugs into the back of the DJI O3. Not really using the onboard ELRS at all. Onboard receiver, I don't even know if it's ELRS, it's just SBUS, so it's probably not. I like at least one antenna out the front, so it's not always when I go away from it, it's when I turn around to come back, I want strong signal. So usually run one antenna right out the front, right there. I'm just going to tape that in to there. So that looks good, and then this one's going to get taped down out the side, and I'll probably do sideways. Great, and something like that. Are you zoomed in enough? Did I zoom you guys too far out? No, you guys can see. Yeah, if I zoom in, you guys are going to lose sight completely of what I'm doing. Alright. This wire is to my LEDs. And it's got to go over here. This is why I left everything loose. So it would give me a little bit more room in case I had to do something like this, where I can just pop it up. I'm not done with Betaflight. Man, I thought I was. So once I put all this back together, I'll have to level it within Betaflight. I don't want these wires going into the prop. I'm just going to tuck them out of the way before I tighten this down. Checking it over, making sure nothing's going to get pinched and bind up. Alright, everything looks good. This is definitely my longest video. So if you're still watching, thank you. I'm not tightening these down to any torque spec. Basically watching the little rubber piece on the side. And when it feels tight, so they do bottom out. Look at that. So on the bottom here, they're solid. So the bolt going through actually bottoms out. So you can just tighten them up until you can feel them hit the bottom. Cool. I'm not going to over tighten those. Those are good. Now, I don't think this frame accepts the O3. Boo. It is only for. That's why this is a Pavo20 Pro 1. This is the first edition. That makes so much more sense why the UART 1 was open. Alright, so what I will probably do is take my O4 Pro off my other one, put it on this one, and then put my light on my other Pavo. But I'm not going to bore you with that tonight. I think 48 minutes. Give me a second. So here's my other one with the O4 Pro on it. And this one has the extra holes for the O4 light to attach to it. And I could put the O3 on this one as well. Alright, I didn't want to bore you guys, but it looks pretty straightforward. This one will have to go on that one, and that one will have to go on this one. Until I get my O4 light case in, because that's what's slowing me down right now. I don't have the case. I have the O4 light, I don't have the case for it. If I gotta order a case, I might as well order a wide lens too. So here's the O4 Pro. all my Avata viewers are screaming, "Oh, it's a little backpack O4 Pro." Yeah, you can just put them on anything. They're awesome. I had my O3 on my Traxxas Emax. I was running that thing around with a DJI camera. It was pretty nice. Alright, I'll hold off on that and put this on here because we were working on this. Yes, I glued my antennas down so when I get into a crash they wouldn't just rip off. This one kind of got loose on me, so I'll have to re-glue that. It's just a UFL connector at the end of it. If that pulls out hard enough, it's gonna rip the UFL right off the transmitter. And these are not easy to find right now. This time in day, these O4 Pros are hard to come by. So I kind of want to put some safeguards in place on keeping this one going. Does the light kit have a separate board? Oh, look at that, it just connects straight to it. So this is the Pavo20 Pro, and the LEDs actually have like its own little board that it plugs into, and you can change the design of it going around. The first edition does not. It just has this hanging out. Yeah, I got the 4 motor plugs. I got the stupid dongle plug. That's it. Huh. I wonder if I can move that receiver over a little bit. Nah. It's stuck in there. Good. That receiver is not going anywhere. Pins are towards the bottom. The holes are towards the bottom. Good. Put that right back in. Make sure it's pointing forward. That would suck. And I should have 4. See how this one has the. Alright, this one has those. I'll just take them off of here. Being ever so careful not to just completely rip these in half. It would be very easy. I swear nobody's gonna finish this video. I should do like a free giveaway at the end of it, but I don't have nearly enough subscribers to do that. So if I get like 20 views on this video, I'll be happy. I'm not going to get that many. Stick these in there and put the screws in. There. I'm not going to bore you with those. I'm just going to pause it while I do that. Okay, so with a little recording magic, I spared you the boring part of that. I'm just attaching these screws, but I have the O4 Pro on the Pavo20 Pro 1 frame. And then my Pavo Pro 2, I have the DJI O3 on. I really like this drone. I don't know if it's going to stay this way. More than likely going to end up getting another DJI O4 Pro, but then I'll have two of the identical. The whole reason why I have two of them is so I could run a DJI Lite on one of them. Because it's lighter, it's 30 grams lighter. And there's O3 on here. It's good. This one's actually heavier now. Alright, well, I'm going to install the lights around here. It's just sticking it on, and then I'm going to tape down the antenna so they're out of the way. And I'm probably going to clip off these standoffs after I level it. If you like that, if you made it this far, thank you. Until next time, go fly something.